These birds are tired. They communicate ceaselessly to one another, as well as always being in the air, never once landing until they drop. You don't have to be of the web, but it's interesting to skate along its ties, its strings for a time, and then you can drop away like friends you've made that are immediately recognizable in photos in spite of years, or in spite of more or less eating. Like, "Who have you been talking to?" she asks me, standing over me in the dark with her new pink costume like a curling finger of friendliness, of closeness, asking her question with a baby's smile, because desert sparrows are apparently not afraid of humans either, and that's where you can find them building a nest in your wall, or landing on your nightside table with the desert sky out there blue, and if you could see that moon or those stars, a freeze down from Arkansas, even if you lay there being quieted away, dwindling, fading, under some bug from the water rattling your veins and your sweating, blinking, you would have time for one clear thought: this sparrow on my night table, this desert night out my window, the moon, even if though a few of us were up there, how can there be no life there? I mean, just look at it, and then you go backtrack up the same mountain, your Honda clock, its little gentle eyes, awaking early in the morning of fear and not going, deciding to go. Anyhow, these birds are tired. They have too many thoughts to think in every second of their movement, and plus they are moving these things we think as we step together along the silk threads, like, imagine now how soon it will be before I can speak at the touch of a button instantly to anyone I've ever known in long years about any brief passing thought I care to speak of, such as, remember you were talking to me about Band X and how much you enjoyed their current song 20 years ago. These birds, these birds, okay, so these birds are tired. They are moving and flickering in 1,000 different thoughtful lives, never bumping one another, never touching, intelligent and in full discussion, of one of them sitting on a little round bedside table watching a human fade, shadows collecting on him, desert costume pulled tight against fever, shadows collect on him where you can't see his face even with those beady keen bird eyes, because he's of course reversing back through the fabric, the night, her baby mouth moving, and I see its lips, and I see the light behind it, the street lamp trickling down through the window frost to blink the last of its blinks down, our garden window, our lower living beneath the earth up to our chins if we were walking out into it, molecules passing molecules like a character in a comic book, like you hovered over with your strawberry-haired pal, who you can now simply walk down a cobweb string, spokes, silk thread to, and speak with about any passing thought, such as, "Oh hey, now remember that song by Band X? You bought the record for me," with me standing nearby. "I understand the singer has died suddenly, just at some unknown end, some apartment somewhere deep in the heart of noise and people and hope, and he was maybe all alone except for a sparrow on his window. What do you reckon? But for it being a bit tedious to connect. Okay, so clearing now. These birds are tired. They've been flying endlessly, and they never stop for food, and you can hold one in your hand, but they only land when they drop. They're not like their desert cousins. They make one think outside of things, and when you never think outside, you never live easier or better or in any way appreciative. You never examine yourself in a mirror. You never hate what you're doing, and not being able to despise oneself once in a while is a bit of a disease, don't you think? You have to question, even if all you do every day is good. Even a teacher is capable of teaching in the wrong direction. Even a nurse is capable of nursing in the wrong direction. And you have to be always constantly asking, even though these birds are tired. These birds are tired. Which truth shall he take as the truth, just like this poor, long-drowned, long-gone actress, so lovely brown-eyed in her days, with the other long-gone girls, smashing everything she can't take? But why aren't they still precious in their gentle hollow presences, their old bones, their dying warmth, their disappearances like the great age even I once knew in a bed in a warm room, and the dusty wind and the murmurs of their long-lost lines? Bob Weston is the dirtiest dog around. Did the poor, lovely, lilting thoughts of her last gasping, the moon, the stars, the sea salt everywhere, the salt, the water, the lungs filling, the desperation then, the warmth, the acceptance, back to the waters. Goodbye, brown eyes, gone. These birds are tired. They have been swimming the air now for ages on end. They do not land. They are instead eternally moving, sweeping, connecting. How odd now, then, to see a surreal Spaniard's painting hung there in that character's deep brown office. He's still with us, and to get attention he talks of dancing and dancing and dancing and dances with just half his head working now. Okay, lost now, lost. These birds are tired. They fly endlessly and never are allowed by anything to land. They speak in different languages. Only 20 years ago they say they could have been small astronauts, but the pace was too slow. They are thinking and talking to one another, talking collectively, knowing each one's thought 1,000 times over, knowing the thought of the man, dark collected in shadows, shadows collecting on him in the dark, in the corner of the bed. Must be so sad in that other language, in that other thought, that thing that happened when you continually slip past, leaving corners, the anonymous man's man calls it anyway. He doesn't appreciate your corners. These are only bits of metal in another country than America. They aren't worth so much as a newspaper from where I'm standing. Next time, don't fear for me. I'll test the bounds of these bouncing unreal orbs even further next time, given half a chance in a city in the desert, built upon desert. How can that be so bad with the desert creeping and all the cracks and the weeds waving? But anyway, just now, these birds are tired and do not stop.